Know the top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed. Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web. Coronavirus cases in the Philippines may reach up to 530,000 by the end of January, a group of experts warned on Monday. In an interview, Octa Research's Dr. Guido David noted an upward trend of coronavirus infections in the country. David shared that there is a slight uptick in Metro Manila, which is averaging 400 to 500 cases daily. David also mentioned Cebu Province, Davao, Isabela, and Cordillera Administrative Region as areas of concern due to an increase of COVID-19 infections during the past week. He also added that contact tracing is important and that the government really needs the cooperation of the public, most especially with the new variant causing an additional concern. The group projects an estimate of 525,000 to 530,000 total coronavirus cases in the Philippines by the end of January. David warns that the UK variant could result in a faster increase in infections if it becomes a dominant variant in the country. The start of the government's vaccination program against the coronavirus disease can be seen toward the third or fourth week of February, the country's testing czar said on Monday. Secretary Vince Dizon, Deputy Chief Implementer of the National Action Plan against COVID-19, said this is based on the schedule presented by vaccine czar Carlito Galvez Jr. This is because the COVAX facility may only be ready by the middle of February. Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine through the COVAX facility is expected to arrive by mid-February as well. Frontliners and the vulnerable and the indigent population, or those who cannot afford the vaccine, will be prioritized. Essential workers will also be part of the clear prioritization schedule. Dizon also shares that the government will also be partnering with the private sector to allow the government to prioritize other sectors that need support from the government. Dizon also believes that a partnership will be a very effective way of expanding the sectors that we will be vaccinating as soon as possible. Chinese pharmaceutical firm Sinovac Biotech assured the public that its coronavac vaccine against the coronavirus disease is safe, effective, and will be reasonably priced. Sinovac Biotech General Manager Helen Yang on Monday in a television interview said that their safety data collecting shows that there are no serious adverse reactions related to the vaccine. Yang also said that the testing conducted in several countries showed that the vaccine has met the standards of the World Health Organization. In terms of pricing, Yang said that Sinovac is not among the most expensive ones and reiterates that the mission of Sinovac is to provide an affordable price for the people. Yang said Sinovac and the Philippine government have already forged a term sheet in supplying 25 million doses of the vaccine, with 50,000 being eyed to be delivered in February. As the country is facing the threat of the new coronavirus variant, which is reported to be more contagious, the Philippine Red Cross confirmed its plans to conduct volume testing. The Department of Health and the Philippine Genome Center confirmed that a B.1.17 SARS-CoV-2 variant was detected in a Filipino male who traveled to Dubai on December 27, 2020 and arrived in the Philippines last January 7 aboard Emirates flight number EK332. PRC Chairman and CEO Senator Richard Gordon said that it will do contact tracing on all passengers of Flight EK332 that arrived in the country on January 7 for the new COVID variant. The PRC said that the other 8 positive cases from the same flight who were tested in its port area lab were sent to the Philippine Genome Center for further testing. PRC Molecular Laboratories head Dr. Pauline Ubial said that the only way to prevent the spread of the new variant is to increase the testing count. She added that the PRC strives to go from 30,000 to 50,000 tests a day to trace and prevent the spread of not only the variant but the coronavirus as a whole. The PRC has already established 13 molecular laboratories nationwide and has so far tested around 1.6 million individuals for COVID-19. In Metro News, thousands attend Mass physically on the feast of Santo Niño de Tondo and Santo Niño de Pandacan. And Quezon City government to launch contact tracing app. More from this report.
Despite the lingering threat of COVID-19, thousands of devotees physically attended masses on the feast of the Santo Niño de Tondo and de Pandacan on Sunday. Data from the Manila Police District showed that around 2,000 people were present during the shrine of Santo Niño de Tondo first and second masses. Meanwhile, the Santo Niño de Pandacan parish drew a smaller crowd. Around 800 people were present for the first and second masses. The police, the Manila government, and the church officials said the event was generally peaceful. In a bid to boost its contact tracing efforts, the Quezon City government will launch a contact tracing application to be used by residents and workers of the city. QC Pass, an app powered by SafePass, will allow the city government to keep track on who is visiting each establishment in the city. Instead of filling up health declaration forms, Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte said residents and workers of the city can just scan the QR code at the entrance of each establishment, and information such as their names and mobile numbers will be automatically sent to the city's government servers handled by the City Epidemiology Disease Surveillance Unit or CESU. People who reside or work in Quezon City are required to get a personal QR code, which they can get by signing up on the SafePass website, SafePass Facebook chat box, and through SMS.
Here are the top news in other parts of the country. Baguio in My Pocket app to facilitate COVID-19 vaccination. And DOH tags Borongan City as a high-risk area after spike in COVID-19 cases. Details in this report.
Baguio City's Baguio in My Pocket or BIMP app will now serve as the database for those who wish to be inoculated against the coronavirus disease in the city. The BIMP is a free smartphone application with several features aimed at promoting an e-government ecosystem. The application also allows for the immediate dissemination of public announcements during emergencies, create job opportunities through the concept of market-to-home delivery, and efficiently and immediately extend public service to all registered citizens of the city in times of crisis and disasters. Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong said that those who are registered in the BIMP will be given priority in receiving vaccine shots. Borongan City Mayor Jose Ivan Dayan Agda has placed the entire city proper under hard lockdown for 14 days and the rest of the city under a modified enhanced community quarantine due to a spike in the number of coronavirus disease cases as well as confirmed community transmission of the virus. The order takes effect today, Monday, January 18, until midnight of February 1st. The Provincial Health Office of Eastern Samar has also tagged the city as a high-risk area according to the Department of Health. Agda also assured that the city government will provide food assistance to affected families which will be required to undergo strict home quarantine.
In world news, India hails life-saving COVID-19 vaccine rollout. Israel leads global COVID immunization drive. And Jurassic Quest drive-thru attracts hundreds of visitors in Los Angeles. Let's watch this.
India's COVID-19 vaccination drive had a successful start with more than 224,000 people receiving their first jobs and just 3 people hospitalized for experiencing side effects, according to the Health Ministry. Authorities have given emergency use approval for 2 jobs, Covishield, a version of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, and the Indian-made Covaxin, which has yet to complete its Phase 3 trials. The government plans to immunize some 300 million people out of its population of 1.3 billion by July. Frontline workers such as hospital staff, people over 50, and those deemed to be high risk due to pre-existing medical conditions are on the short list to receive the vaccines. With more than 2 million people already having received the vaccine, Israel is leading the world in inoculating its population against COVID-19. More than 20% of Israel's population, about 9 million, has already gotten the first dose of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine as of January 14. Israel also assured that Palestinians will be immunized against the coronavirus as quickly as possible. Israel plans to inoculate all of its population over the age of 16 by the end of March, and the country's vaccination campaign started last December 19. While theme parks are closed in California due to the COVID-19 pandemic, several hundred cars have been passing through the Jurassic Quest installation in Los Angeles. Over 70 life-size dinosaurs can be seen in the area, and according to the manager, they have consulted a paleontologist in order to get the real size and feel in making the dinosaurs. Motorists find it educational for kids, and it's the best time to learn more in this time of pandemic. Tickets for the attraction cost $49 per vehicle.
In entertainment, over the weekend, actress and social media influencer Alex Gonzaga revealed that she and her fiancé, politician Mikee Morada, tied the knot in November 2020. Alex apologized to their fans for the secret marriage, saying that they want to celebrate together as a family first. And of course, due to the pandemic, Alex also added that they just wanted to keep it to themselves for a little while. The couple had been dating since 2017 and were engaged last January 17, 2020. A journey that is well documented because of Gonzaga's love for both Mikee and vlogging. In sports, the scheduled NBA game between the Philadelphia 76ers and Oklahoma City Thunder was postponed by the league hours before tip-off due to COVID-19 safety protocol issues. The visiting Sixers did not have the minimum 8 players available for the game due to the ongoing COVID-19 contact tracing within the club. The 76ers Thunder game was the second of the day to be postponed after Cleveland and Washington contest had been delayed due to 6 COVID-19 positives on the Wizards roster. It marks the 7th day in which the NBA has had at least one game postponement due to COVID-19 safety protocols in a season that began 4 weeks ago and features teams playing in home arenas. And those are the news on Web today, January 18, 2021. For more news and details, get your copy of Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow. Or you can log on to www.mb.com.ph. You may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link in this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Join us again tomorrow. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.